As thousands of illegals trek towards our southern border, many critics are pointing to Europe as a warning of potential repercussions of unchecked illegal immigration. In Italy, more than 155,000 migrants reportedly landed this year, up some 50% from the year before, according to Italian news outlets. Most of that is by sea. And in Germany, a brand new report indicates at least 7,000 women have been sexually assaulted by illegal migrants since 2015, when the country became an epicenter for Europe's refugee crisis. Here to react is documentary filmmaker Ami Horowitz. Ami, thanks for being here. You have covered this illegal migrant issue in Europe extensively. How bad is it, and what kind of preview could it be for America, where we're taking in even more?
Yeah, no, it's bad, and it's getting worse, and it's across Europe, right? Italy, this is kind of a somewhat newer phenomenon. I think Germany, France, Sweden have been dealing with these issues for a very, very long time, and it has had massive social ramifications. I know that a lot of Europeans want to ignore that, and they've ignored it for years. And by the way, that ignoring of it has led to tumult in those countries. If you look at Germany, for example, the illegal immigrants that Germany make up about 2.5% of the population. That excludes the Ukrainians, right? That's carving the Ukrainians out. Now, 2.55% is a large number in of itself, but if you look at what the ratio in terms of the amount of violent crime committed by the illegal immigrants, they make up about 10% of violent crime. So the huge outperforming of their population set. No, it's been terrible. And in terms of the ramifications and the lessons we can learn in the U.S., look, we're seeing a similar massive migration from our southern border. And I think it's a preview of things to come. But not only that, I think the left, Democrats in particular, should take note more than anybody else. Because what you've seen this illegal immigration in Europe driving a move to the right. You've seen now in Italy, in Norway, with Geert Wilders in the Netherlands, you've seen a massive political shift happening to the right, primarily driven by the immigration crisis. If I'm a Democrat, and we know that the immigration crisis is one of the top issues, along with inflation and the economy here in the U.S., I would take note, and I would be very, very worried.
Great point. Ami, you take the stat of the 7,000 sexual assaults by illegals in Germany. There's multiple parts to that, but a lot of it is that these folks are coming from countries with very different social norms, you might say, and they're not assimilating to those countries. But then also the press in these European countries, I've followed this very closely. They will often not acknowledge that the perpetrator in an assault isn't illegal. They'll work very hard to not talk about that. So they don't even want to acknowledge that this happens.
No, the media malpractice on this issue is epic and has been for many, many years. I learned a lesson firsthand when I had an explosive video in Sweden that made international news across the country. I was interviewed by CNN, by BBC, by Reuters, everybody in the country I did an interview with. And of course, all they would do was try to push back. They were kind of like trying to form themselves into logistical pretzels in order to push back on the notion and the reality that there is a social dislocation and large amount of crimes that come from the people, particularly when they're coming from the nations of the Maghreb, right, the Arab nations, primarily because, I mean, let's be honest, that women don't have a very high status in their culture, and they bring that culture, frankly, over to Europe. Again, not to say that all or even most of these people are committing crimes. Sure. It's not the case, but there's no question that they do it at a much higher proportion than the locals in those countries.
Yeah, you don't protect your borders and you don't protect your culture, then you get other cultures with very different views, and then your own citizens suffer as a result. Ami Horowitz, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.